Hey, welcome to
Hey,
Apex After Dark. Yes, and we have my co-host Devil Flyer. How you doing, Devil Flyer?
doing well, doing well.
Excellent. Well, special guest is Heroineburgh and Marvin Wynn. Let's give these
Going.
guys a round of applause. Hello,
Woo!
everybody.
Pittsburgh represent.
Pittsburgh represent.
Comicsburg.
Comicsburg.
Yes. I got the
Comicsburg.
logo to show. Yes.
Oh, this will be fun. That's cool. All right. Well, let's say hello to the chat. We got good stuff. Comic Skater. Hey, all. Past Master Dan. Hey, my dad's name is Marvin. Well, no relation, I'm sure, right, Marvin?
We
And
know
we
these
got
people.
me. And we got me again. Now dad's coming on. So anyway, okay, I'm intrigued by Heroineburgh's origin, how he got this thing together. I'm sure you've been a comics fan for like many years, like I have.
Oh
So
boy. Yes.
how did you get these cosplaying ladies, and what brought that on? How did it
Okay.
all start?
So we got to make one point clear. They're not cosplaying ladies because they're the
Okay,
actual actresses doing the characters.
my bad.
So no problem. No, it's necessary to explain because comic book people come at it from that angle. But yeah, we made a TV show and a comic book, and
That's
these
cool.
are the actual actresses who play the characters. You can meet them at conventions, and it's like meeting Scarlett Johansson, except a lot less famous, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So how did we do this? Basically, I was interning in summer 2016 at a very important um, uh, um, organization in Pittsburgh called Pittsburgh Filmmakers. I
Oh
was
wow.
interning. I was interning at their equipment office. Okay,
Hmm.
and at the time, I had been for about 2 years getting back into comics very heavily, the way I had been in the '80s. And while I had a lot of time on my hands running the equipment desk and like lending people out, tripods and cameras and stuff and microphones, I was also reading new comics, learning about the indie scene, the current crowd-funded scene as it existed, back then, or and also catching up on a lot of movies and watching the CW shows, things like that. And I got this idea of creating a superhero universe based out of Pittsburgh and kind of influenced by a whole lot of things, all the way from, 80s George Perez and John Byrne and Femforce, all the way down to more modern stuff, like maybe Empowered, for example, is a good
Yeah.
example. So, and Invincible, I was reading those books. So I wanted to do something that harkened back to the glory days of comics in the '80s,
Yeah.
colorful, action-packed, sexy ladies in nice costumes, doing powerful stuff. And so I created Heroineburgh and started out as a TV show, mainly because I had access to free cameras and equipment at the time.
Wow.
So, and after doing 60 hours of volunteering at that organization, I wound up getting a free year's membership, and I wound up having another year's free access. Then finally, I upgraded to Canon cameras and bought a couple and some lights and stuff like that, and got people who knew how to use Adobe Premiere and After Effects. And within a couple years, we had all these episodes and started making comic books. Then I met Marvin, and now we have a collective of local comic book creators, including Marvin's The Edge. And
Yeah.
in fact, a couple of the creators are actresses in our series. Our actresses are extremely multi-talented. They come from the Pittsburgh music scene, the theater scene. They're comedians, they're belly dancers, cosplayers. They some of them actually do cosplay on their own time, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so very talented people. We've got several dozen talented people working on this, and I'm
Yeah.
just kind of the Stan Lee of it. I keep everything together.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, so Herrenberg started out as a TV show and then became a comic as well. So it went backwards from most things, but now we have both. Yes.
Damn, that's really awesome. You know what?
Hmm.
Back in my days, back in the late '90s, I'll show. I got some pictures here.
Yeah, we want to hear your origin story.
Now, actually, yeah. So I big time comic book creator. Well, not big time, but indie comic book creator.
Prolific.
Yeah, prolific. Exactly. I created the Femme Fatale. It's a three women. One it was Mongoose, Angel Fire, and Caracal. They represent the modern, fast-paced woman who is Mongoose. I'll go ahead and blow my screen.
Those are great names. I love Caracal especially. I know what that is. It's a cat. Yes.
Yeah, it is. You see Caracal and Mongoose in the middle, and Angel Fire. Caracal represents the savage side of women, or wild side.
We know that side well.
The fast-paced Mongoose, fast-paced woman. And you got Angel Fire, the spiritual side of women.
Right.
So these were the team I created, and I drew like 16 pages of it, and I had a flip book with the other side as the executor. But
beautiful. That's great.
Yeah. So here's back in 1998, way back when. This is my setup. I was Apex Graphics at the time in the 90s.
And that's your Comic-Con setup? That was your Comic-Con booth?
Yeah, it's in Eugene, Oregon. Yeah. There I am. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
There's some Nazi flags back.
Yeah, that's Madam X. Madam X. Assigned to kill Adolf Hitler. And I got Batman and Wolverine there, and on each side. And I'm wearing the Executor skull shirt, glow in the dark shirt. I still have a few of those left. So,
yeah, it looks great. So Madam X was like a Nazi villainess.
She fought Nazis. She's from Great Britain.
Oh, she fought Nazis. Okay,
she fought
Nazis. She was kind of like Miss Fury then, or whatever.
A little bit like that, but not cat like they are. Here are my live actresses. This is before actual cosplay was really big. It's back in 1999, February 1999. Here they are without makeup. Here they are with costume and makeup.
Oh, your three heroines.
3 girls. Yeah. I hired models.
That's so gorgeous.
Yeah, they're really cool.
And that was in Oregon too?
That was in Eugene, Oregon. Yeah. I lived in Seattle, but we went to Eugene Comic-Con. Right. And we had a blast. People were taking pictures or buying books.
Man, Mongoose looks great, man.
Yeah, is she cool? Yeah.
Yeah.
There they are right
really
there.
Good.
Yeah. Back in the late 90s. Wow.
There it is. So we got some good stuff in common. So were you what inspired? I'm just turning it on you. What inspired you to make an all-female team like that? Did you read FemForce? Did you read like Elemental?
I read the FemForce. Heroineburgh reminds me a lot of FemForce.
Well, it's basically FemForce in Pittsburgh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, we are now good friends with Bill Black. I mean, we're fans of his. He makes movies, right? Just like we do. Right. Oh, He makes Night Vale Media. And actually, George Perez made a whole bunch of superheroine movies, too. I don't know if you knew this.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it's called Sisterhood of Superheroines. And
wow.
Yeah. And so Bill Black just made a new She-Cat movie, She-Cat Meets the Mummy.
Oh, my God. I got to see that. Hi, Sci-Fi.
Yeah. And he wore our T-shirt on the set of the movie. So that was very cool of him.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
I've not yet seen Bill Black's movies. I'm gonna have to at least get some DVDs.
Well, just go to nightvalemedia.com and download them. I mean, one which is really cool and was made about 4 years ago was Scarlet Scorpion, and that has both a male and female version of his character Scarlet Scorpion in the movie. Like it's all filmed in Orlando, like we do in Pittsburgh. Same deal.
Oh, jeez, that's so
I have
cool.
all his movies up there except for.
Really?
There you go.
Oh man,
we got some big Bill Black fans in the house. That's awesome.
I've got over 80 signatures by Bill.
Wow.
Like
and Mark and Stephanie run the company now for him. So they're excellent as well. Of course. Yeah.
They're down Florida.
Yes, Orlando.
Can you tell me how his wife is doing?
Bill Black's wife?
Yeah.
Well, I saw pictures of her in the hospital, and I don't know anything beyond that. I'm sorry to say. He posted a couple things on the FemForce Facebook group, which I'm on, and but beyond that, I really don't know the details. I would have to ask him personally. I don't want to pry too much.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. Well, I just know that she was having chemotherapy back in as far back as 2014.
Yeah. But yeah, he posted a picture of her recently, so she's still alive and kicking, but I don't know her current status. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Yeah. Now
prayers
he's
go
in
out to her.
Florida. Are you located in Florida?
No, he's in
No,
Pittsburgh.
no. We
Oh,
just
you're in Pittsburgh.
we're in Pittsburgh, PA. But like I said,
Okay.
I get a lot of inspiration from several Florida creators, including George Perez and Bill Black. Yeah, like
Wow.
both because both of them made both superheroine movies and comics, obviously. But I mean, I was reading George Perez when I was a kid. One of my earliest books was New Teen Titans, right? And
Yeah.
so, like, I'm like 11 years old, and I'm taking wax paper and tracing Starfire and Wonder Girl and making my own. You know why I made my own characters back then? Because you were able to submit them to Dial H for Hero.
I
Oh
did
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I would trace George Perez characters, make my own characters. In fact, the one on the cover, Savannah, is one that I created when I was like 11 or 12. And I
Oh,
would
wow.
draw, like leopard spots on the character, whatever, and then I would mail them in. I mailed about a dozen characters into Dial H for Hero, which was the Wolfman Infantino book, right?
Yeah.
None of them ever got published. Though I tried,
Mine
so.
didn't either.
Yeah,
I
I
submitted
know a
one
lot
too.
of us. Yeah. Although one guy got his character in the Suicide Squad movie, so good for him.
Which one
George
was that?
Perez did the last Adventure Comics that was full size before it went in its last 2 years of publication to digest size.
Oh, I remember
Oh.
those.
And it was a Dial H for Hero. They were fighting the Void.
Oh yeah, was that still Chris and Vicky, the two characters? Yeah, at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah, and then
favorite
it went
iteration.
for like 2 years to a digest size, and they canceled it after 503 issues.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Adventure
It's an
Comics. Yeah.
anthology. It can
Sure.
be
No.
anything.
Yeah.
That book
Yeah.
can be anything. It's
Yeah.
an
Why'd
anthology.
they even cancel Adventure Comics?
Why
I
They
know.
canceled
it just
It's
went
dumb.
over 500 issues.
Yeah.
I mean, Supergirl was the main cover story for a while on Adventure, the main feature,
Oh,
right?
back in
So
the 70s, yeah.
yeah, I have a lot of those. Yeah, those
So
are great.
Aquaman too. I remember
That's when they
Aquaman.
changed her costume up some too.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was
She was
cute.
in-
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So anyway, Marvin. So how did you get into the comic book game?
Marvin.
So my story starts back in the 80s with G.I. Joe.
Oh, sweet.
So the
Real
original
American hero.
G.I. Joe animated series. I didn't know anything about comics then. I mean, my only thing that I knew about comics was from the Spider-Man animated series from the 60s, and then
Oh, he's got
Spider-Man
Duke.
and his amazing
Hold on.
friend.
Yeah, Joe's here.
Oh my
awesome.
God, that's Duke. Holy crap, he's cool.
Can you tell me who this one is with the bazooka? I didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
That's-
Bazooka.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's his name, Bazooka.
Yeah.
Simple enough.
they weren't trying to be very interesting with the character names.
Oh,
back in the days.
Okay, that's who is that? Is that Ramrod?
Roadblock.
Roadblock. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Roadblock. Yeah. How many do you have? Double Flower?
Well,
Oh,
those
this is
three.
four?
Right
Nice.
now.
Oh, that's
I might
cool.
have some others somewhere else.
Larry Hamill love to keep it simple. So you're into G.I. Joe. I guess you're inspired by the cartoon, and
Yeah.
so you decided to draw your own stories from that.
Well, I mean, they went a little further. So my first comic book was a G.I. Joe comic. From G.I. Joe, I believe it was in the Captain America, because these were just comics I would pick up at the local grocery store, Giant Eagle, or the local 5 and Dime, Woolworths or McCory's or things like that. So
Yeah,
I didn't know.
We're both from the newsstand days, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I miss those days, man. I really do.
Spinner racks at the newsstand. So
Hey kids,
Yeah.
comics.
I know.
So from Captain America, then I discovered comic shops, which got me into X-Men. And then from X-Men, it was Image. So the Image explosion in the 90s is what made me want to do comics. And
Oh, yeah.
The Edge is very influenced by those books from the 90s. Very much so. So 90s X-Men, Wildcat, Stormwatch, all those books are very what influenced my going forward into doing my own stuff.
Oh, that's cool, man. So
So
you've drawing
Lorenzo
mainly
got
just
our link correct.
did he?
What?
Oh, good job, Lorenzo. Hell yeah. So did you work for any major companies, or are you just mainly independent?
I've done mostly independent, and then I did sign with a publisher in 2020, Second Sight Publishing. We are no longer with that publishing company as of this week, though. But
Right.
so with like things come, things go. But I mean, we keep the fire burning. At present time, we are knee deep in the 18 issues of The Edge. So that's
Sweet.
the solo series, and then we have a bunch of one shots that we're going to do also. But we have a Kickstarter coming next month on 420. The Edge is a Drug. It's 420. I had to pick that day. So if
cool.
I can drop the link to the Kickstarter in the chat.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to? Or I can share my screen, and then I can.
Yeah.
We do have a trailer, so I can play the trailer.
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen. If you'll get that ready, I'll go ahead and click it when you get it in. Be sure to share your audio.
I guess you watched the G.I. Joe cartoon, Marvin.
Yes.
Back in the
yes.
80s.
Oh yeah.
And like I did, I still get hyped listening to the theme song from the movie. I still gets the going when it's the Cobra
Cool.
theme, especially. My favorite character on that show is Cobra Commander.
Cobra.
And it's only because of Chris Latta, the guy who did the voice. And then my favorite character in Transformers, of course, was Starscream.
Oh yeah, man. All right.
Are we sharing?
I'm shared. Yeah, you're on there. Yeah.
So let's play the trailer.
Yes, do it. Come on, extend your screen. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Oh yeah. Wow.
So the basis of the story is the Edge is a drug that we have not shared with how it's distributed, but while it can grant special abilities, it costs either your sanity or your life or both. Our lead villain, Revenant, has been dosed with the Edge. So his special ability is from a single drop of his own blood, he can duplicate himself. So he's pretty much a one-man army. He decides that he no longer wants to work for his special forces team, so he goes rogue into the world. So a special forces team is formed to go after him, and they're really not concerned with him telling anybody what he knows because he's a jerk and everyone never share that information with anybody. They don't want anybody to get a hold of his blood.
Oh wow.
So and then it just goes on from there. So we don't really go into who's the good and who's the villain, because it's all shades of gray in this universe where people are going to do things that could lead them to be good or bad based on whatever the situation is, because it's all about how them surviving to the next day.
Oh man, that's something. That's a struggle right there.
Oh yeah.
Hot day. So you have 4 issues out so far. You're up to number 18.
So 4 issues are ready to go. So there's going to be in the Kickstarter, it's going to be the trade, and then I'm going to have all 4 issues available. And then we're going to start the next arc, which is called Reign of Chaos. And then, like I said, that we've got one shots in between each issue story arc. So and then Revenant is getting his own solo one shot. Well, I call it a one cut because he's all about not carrying knives.
Oh right.
And he actually names his knives. So his original knife is Mr. Idiom.
Wow.
And he talks to the knife, and the knife talks to him.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's out of his mind.
Looks a little bit like Katana with her sword, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the Soul Sword. Or
reminds me of Rogue Trooper too from the
right.
UK.
He makes comments that Mr. Idiom needs to drink some blood or some stuff like that.
Oh wow,
he's out of his mind. So I'll share again, and I can show the let me look at this close. Go back. The preview for issue 1. StreamYard is so weird with sharing. I didn't know I clicked the stop sharing, but it did stop sharing.
Yeah, you have to start over. Oh, here it is. I see it. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
So is
this? Yeah, just
here we go.
should be
Yeah,
on.
I have to spread the other tab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like this first page of issue 1, and immediately you get that feeling of G.I. Joe.
Okay.
So that is that we're very influenced by G.I. Joe, even some Transformers references and a lot of this stuff.
Wow.
So this is like the Arctic base in the middle of nowhere. They're having problems with the cameras and things are going glitzy. And of course, here comes Revenant. So he was supposed to be out on a mission, but he's coming back to the base.
Okay. Oh, that's sweet. So did you draw this yourself, or is there another artist involved?
The artist is, and Heroineburgh can always attest to my inability to pronounce his last name, so he'll probably help.
I can pronounce it, yeah.
It's Mark Louis, and you want to pronounce his last name?
He's from the Philippines, and his name is Mark Vuicanquiat.
Oh wow! Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah.
So we call him Mark V.
Mark V. Mark V is easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's some good stuff. That looks good.
Yeah.
And then the colorist is Luis Antonio Delgado. He generally works with IDW.
Okay.
And then our letterist is James Reed. He does a lot of work for like a bunch of different publishers.
Oh, nice. Looks like a good book there. And the name of this title again is
The Edge.
The Edge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. He's on an airplane.
Yeah, but it was the one thing that we were trying to do on this one. Is like we wanted to give that kind of surprise where, oh, he's just on a plane flying, and then you go to the next page, it's underwater.
He's underwater. It's an underwater plane. Oh wow!
Yeah.
So like voyage to the bottom of the sea.
The plane we call it the Equinox can do air and water.
Oh wow, that's bizarre. I like all that.
You've got a lot of, like I said, the G.I. Joe references, Transformers, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So then we're jumping into the middle of a mission where there is this fanatical group called God's Thunder, and they're actually will be picked up in a later arc. So you'll see like their propaganda all over the book and everything.
Wow.
Like the government lies to you, we know the truth, and then their slogan is "Know us."
Yeah, sort of like today's government.
Well, it could be a government at any time in any country.
That is so true, man.
There's always some shady stuff going on.
Tell me about it.
So then our characters here, Bolton Mystic. Mystic is the team lead. And Interim, we're going to get to her scene here.
She won purple?
Yes.
Okay.
So we usually just pop up like the names as they're first introduced on the page.
So she's like super fast. What's her abilities?
Well, we're going to get into that. So we have a page.
Oh, okay, great. Oh,
so you see here, she can open portals that allow her to not only see a few seconds into the future, but she can also step through those portals.
Oh, nice.
So let's say that in the situation that's coming up, there's a fight. So she can come through the portals and surprise these guys and beat the crap out of them.
Oh, wow. Sort of like that goofy Marvel character. What's his name? Zero?
Yeah.
There's different portals and
punches. But my favorite part of this is how the way that she's hitting them is how the panels are sliding.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's something.
And that's a Mark's contribution to the book, where I didn't ask him to do that. So he's got that extra eye on the camera that comes up with those kind of stuff, because I don't think about it sometimes.
Oh, that's great. So is this is the current issue, correct? Or
yeah, this is issue 1.
Oh, issue 1. Okay, great. Yeah. That's cool. Wow. So you been to the comic shops and sell these, or you distribute them? Or
yeah, these issue 1 and issue 2 were distributed through Diamond, so they could be available in store. I do have
Nice.
copies on my website with different covers, but
Okay.
all of our branding now is switching to Comicsburg, and I can stop sharing again, and I can grab a book.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah.
So I've got some copies back here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we've started using the Comicsburg logo. I guess you can just show it on the book, right? I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to show it on the screen. Yeah.
Okay, let me
So
go
this is
below you.
the updated issue 1,
Oh, looks good.
and I've got my finger on it. So and then there's on the back is the Comicsburg.
So is it $3.99?
The ones that come from for us for cons and things like that are $4.99.
Oh, $4.99. There you go.
In stores, they're $3.99.
So how many pages for the $4.99?
This is 32 pages. Each book is 24 pages or more.
Nice. That's
So
cool.
issue 1 and issue 2 are 32 pages. I think 3 and 4 are 24 pages.
That's
But
fair.
it goes up and down from there. The one shots are all going to be at least 48 pages.
Oh, great. Wow. Yeah, that's the average price when you think about it. The 32 pages are normally $1 higher than the other one. You get 20.
Right, but I mean, since it's small press, we have to print.
Yes.
We print less, so we have to charge.
That's
a little
true.
bit more.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's low print run.
Right.
Which
And I
makes
mean,
it
and
more
it's not cheap paper like Marvel uses. Either.
No,
So
it's not.
It's all glossy through the whole book.
Yeah, those a-holes, they print them on this toilet paper looking.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Right. I hear a lot of people complain. That's why I brought it up. Is that our books are printed on good paper, so
Yeah.
it's not going to fall apart, and you can do that to it, and it's not.
Oh,
going to get all
that is wild.
Bloody Monster. We do know 656. Yeah, Oliver and those guys. Yeah.
They're good guys. I like Oliver and the gang.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, we
pretty
actually
cool.
appeared on their stream a couple months ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. Those guys are great.
I think that's where I first saw you was on their channel.
Yeah, they're wearing
And
sunglasses.
actually, they helped us get into a store in El Paso, so that was great. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
you know what Marvin was saying earlier about seeing comics on the rack somewhere in a grocery store, in a pharmacy, and kids don't have that opportunity anymore. It's pretty sad.
I
Yeah.
think we need to bring it back, guys.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked into it, and I think a lot of other there were other creators like Pete Samedi, and found that the cost was it just wasn't it became not worth it, because if I return this book to you, I don't have to return the whole book. I can just tear the cover off.
Right.
Yeah, that's back in
send
the
you the book
25-cent days.
Yeah. And for something that costs as much as it does to print it, and what you're asking for it, destroying it just cuts into your bottom line. So, I mean, the rules for that has to change. Because it doesn't benefit us if they return the books. So I've been looking into it for a while, and there are options out there, but like I said, that tearing that cover off and returning it to you if the book doesn't sell doesn't save you at all. But I mean,
that's a non-starter. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but there's other options out there. So I've been looking into like dollar stores, Dollar General, you Target, Walmart, and things like that to get books into. But newsstand is going to be a no-go.
Right.
Of those rules that are in place. Those rules have to change.
I just had an idea just now. Since they have to return them they have to rip the covers and return them back to you.
Yeah.
All you could do, you could actually develop a new cover for it.
Yeah.
A new cover. I've been doing some coverless comics covers. I did one from Thor issue 130.
Or you could print a second cover inside the first cover.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hey, here's the cover right there.
Yeah. But anyway, Marvin, can I talk about distribution too?
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Do. Yeah.
So Marvin's dealing directly with stores. We did it in like a really big way, and he mentioned Pete Samedi, and this is the thing. Last year, Pete kind of threatened to create a distributor to rival Diamond for indie books, but he took a bunch of submissions, but he never pulled the trigger. So rather than wait any longer, because he wasn't going to do it, about a year ago, I just started to start calling stores myself all over the country. And by calling about, yeah, Humberto Ramos, um,
Yep.
by calling about 500 stores, 550 or so, I was able to get 195 stores to take the book within a year. And, so we know, for example, in Texas alone, we have about 13 stores now in Lubbock, Dallas, McAllen, El Paso, McKinney, outside of Houston. So it is possible on a smaller scale to do the same thing that people like Dave Sim used to do in the '80s, which is call up stores. Except now you can email them too, right? Call up
Yeah.
stores and get them to take the books directly, just like they used to do in the black and white explosion with the turtles and Cerebus. So
Yeah.
yeah, not a lot of people are doing that, but we've been able to do that to some extent and have some success. Getting our book into stores around the country and a few in Canada. So yeah, it's possible. It takes a lot of calling.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right. Calling and
And
sending
also,
emails.
and on the back end of that, I actually built a list of stores
Oh, great.
that are indie friendly. So I'm right now, I think I'm was at 600 stores.
Yep.
And now
Yep.
I'm building the international list now, even though the shipping costs to send books across the pond is not advantageous for a small press guy like we
It's
are.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. Except if you send one book and you package it very carefully and lightly, it's possible to do it cheaply to some countries. I had a guy who won a book off of me on Don Chin's channel, and the guy was in Portugal, and I was like, "Oh my God, how much is this going to cost?" But I put it in a folder, packaged it lightly, and taped it carefully, just a Manila folder, right? And I got it there for $5.81. So it's possible to send individual books to some countries for reasonable prices, but Marvin is right. Like if you were going to put a whole bunch in a box, that would be expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
yeah, I know in CG that there have been people working with people down Australia, the UK, to ship a bunch of their books on their
Yeah.
campaigns so that they can distribute them from that point. So that may
Yeah.
be an option.
RJ from Critical Blast, who's in your neck of the woods, is
Oh yeah,
providing that service to creators from overseas in the States, for example. Yeah.
I always thought that it would probably be a good idea just to make deals with printers in those countries and just
Yeah.
print the book there and
well,
then ship it where it
then
needs
you
to
run
go.
into, is it a first print, second print? It's, all needs to be from the front first run as far as the collector.
Mhm.
I see what you're saying, but there are color variations and all things that could happen if you're dealing
Right.
with more than one printer.
That's true.
And then the cost, and then over in the UK, these taxes that they're levying against certain
Yeah.
things.
Hmm.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah,
You mean tariffs? You mean
I,
import tariffs, or you mean taxes
yeah,
within
I
the
like.
country itself?
For
Well, like
the back.
EVS was talking about with Cyberfrog, that
Yeah.
he had to set up a vent. It was called a VIN tax, and I don't know about that because I haven't looked into it. But he had to um, do some finagling to get Cyberfrog over there to the UK.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, all kinds of horror stories and shipping.
Well, I
Something
mean,
we got to deal
Anyway,
with.
the
anyway,
problem
we
is
at
that it
least we have
doesn't.
America down. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank goodness.
Oh, I was saying it doesn't like it's their way to try to kill independence with those things where
Well,
you're
if you
hurting.
have a good product and it sells, so, yeah, a bunch of it is just distribution and I have eyes on it. It's
Mhm.
hard to capture, be a Ninja Turtle and capture lightning in a bottle. But
Right.
even that was a slow road the
Mhm.
first couple of years with
Hmm.
the Ninja Turtles. It wasn't until they really got someone that got it in at cartoon of the 80s and got more eyes on the product that it really took off. I
Right.
mean, it was selling from the very beginning, but it didn't really launch into the stratosphere till the cartoon came out.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
And really, it looked like an underground to me. Ninja Turtles, though, the gray tone, however they did the gray tone, the zipatone, however they did it, that made it stand out from the black and white glut of the time.
Right.
Yeah, there was a lot of those.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Although
Don,
I was a
Don Chin's
fan of
radioactive black belt hamsters.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. I was a fan of a lot of those black and white books. I like Love and Rockets quite a bit, and that was all
Oh, it's
black and
good.
white interiors. Yeah,
Yeah.
Weren't they like magazine size?
they
Yeah.
were,
Right out.
but black and white inside. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Fantagraphics. There you go.
Yeah. Fantagraphics that puts out some great books.
Oh yeah.
And we definitely need to network as creators, and we don't always, everyone's doing their own little projects and things. But yeah, hopefully we can build some platforms where we can reach into the pie and make a difference for the market
Yeah, man.
Agreed.
on distribution to other countries for sure. I mean, long term, hopefully we'll come together and have a long term plan to be able to beat some of that shipping cost.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it is about making a profit just like any other business.
Right.
But and indies are higher, and I know I as a collector all my life, from Captain Chinook out of Canada on up, it's always been a concern as a kid, as a collector. Do I want to pay this higher price for this indie that looks so cool? Because
Oh
I'm
yeah.
paying, I could buy 2 Marvels for this one indie. So it is a decision
Yeah, it
that
is.
people
Yeah.
have to make. Do I want to pay the higher price? Is even if the quality is there? Because as a kid, you're not thinking, "Oh, this paper is so much better than Charlton Comics," which
Anything
is
was better
crap.
than Charlton. Charlton was crap.
It was crap. You can't even get some of them CGC graded because
Ah,
the length of the paper is so uneven.
yeah. Except for Doomsday +1, the John Byrne early
Oh yeah.
stuff. Always loved that.
Well, some of those you might not be able to get graded because the paper was crap.
Yeah, it's less than newsstand news grade paper or newspaper.
Yeah.
Falls
It's
apart in your
crazy.
hands.
But
Almost. Yeah.
He also did Space 1999.
Yeah.
Some
And he
of
did
those.
I
that.
love that show.
Yeah, his
Yeah, he
early
did.
stuff.
He
For
did that
sure.
robot series. I forget
Oh,
the name of it.
Raj.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raj.
Yeah.
That was good. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. All right. So any conventions you guys go on this year that you're gonna set up?
Oh yes, I can rattle them off. Basically, and I would, if possible, I'd like to play you a trailer. But first, let's
Do.
talk. Yeah, let's talk cons.
Okay.
So at Comicsburg is like a group of creators. Me, Marvin, and 2 or 3 other folks. There's Grant from Beowulf and Monarch Publishing. There's Marisha, she's one of our actresses. She does a book called Music Maker. And now we brought on also Tiffany, another of our actresses who puts out fantasy novels and CDs.
Wow.
So among all those creators, and there's also, a couple of our interior artists, Ben Barnett and Wayne Brown. They also have stuff to sell sometimes. Wayne has his own tables at cons. But anyway, yeah, we're going as groups, in groups of 2 to 4 to 5 to conventions. So there are 2 conventions in Pittsburgh. Oh, there's 3 conventions in Pittsburgh area proper. There is Steel City, which is 3 times a year, Three Rivers, which is once a year, and now there's something called Waynesburg Top Toy Expo, which we're doing also. Then there's one nearby in Altoona, PA, called Sci-Fi Valley, which we're going to. And also in 2022 so far, we're scheduled to go to a con in the south of West Virginia, to Dayton, Ohio, Gem City, to Terrificon in Connecticut, to Baltimore Comic-Con, and what else? Oh, Akron Comic-Con in Ohio. And there's a couple others that we're going to try to. Yeah, that's Captain Canuck. Actually,
Yeah, Captain
Devil
Canuck,
Flyer
yeah.
said Captain Chinook, but it's not Chinook. It's actually
This
Captain
is
Canuck,
Canuck,
right?
yeah.
Okay, Canuck.
Yeah,
then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Canuck, right. Anyway, yeah, Bloody Monster said that. So yeah, we're going to be doing just like last year. I mean, even with COVID, we did a dozen conventions. We're going to do the same this year. And yeah, I guess we'll see if we can squeeze another couple in. Marvin and I were talking about possibly C2E2, but that's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, between Terrificon and Baltimore, we'll reach a lot of people, you know. So
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I was going to
So
ask
here-
you if the
Yeah.
COVID, because I know a lot of the conventions were curtailed because of that. How did that affect you, if at all?
oh, you mean in what way,
I
actually?
mean, as far as the conventions being canceled, or you
Oh,
did
just
fewer
cons? Well,
shows, or
I mean, basically, there was almost 1 year where everything was canceled, right, Marvin?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
And
2020.
then in 2021, everything started up with a bang, and we went to everything we possibly could. So it basically crushed about a year's worth of cons. Yeah, unfortunately. So, but there were some cons that held their stuff outside. Three Rivers held their stuff outside for a couple of iterations, so that helped. But yeah, mostly 2020 was a loss. And
Yeah.
you know, as far as cons, that's what encouraged me during 2020 to reach out to stores instead and do all that calling. You know, something to do, right? Well, besides filming live action episodes, you know, you call the stores and you try to get the book out as many places as possible, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
Blake Musser watched a documentary on YouTube of a Canadian superhero. Did Captain Canuck on YouTube? I didn't know that. Or is there different Canadian heroes?
Well, there's something. Okay, this doesn't exist anymore, but for a couple years, right around the time we were making our own book, there was a series that had a lot of money pumped into it. Was both a video series once again and a comic book. It was called Heroes of the North, and
Oh,
and it was a series with a lot of great looking lady heroes in it. And you know, that's another one of the things that inspired us to do it ourselves. It was out of Toronto, but they had a heroine or a hero from every single province and territory. You know, so like there was Acadia, who was from Nova Scotia, and you know, there was one from British Columbia, all that. So yeah, that's I noticed that, but I think the guy ran out of money and just stopped doing it after a couple years. That's yeah, no
that's
no
shame.
relation to Captain Canuck though. Yeah,
Okay.
I think the Quebec heroine was called Fleur de Lis, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, very
Or
on the nose names.
I wonder if they're available on DVD.
The Heroes of the North. Oh, you
Yeah.
can still find the YouTube channel. It never went away, so there's a
Oh,
lot of clips on there. Yeah, yeah,
it's
they
on
had very good production.
Tubi.
Anyway.
Yeah, cool. Tubi is free. That's good. I'm
Tubi
gonna-
is, yeah, Tubi is the best streaming service. It has more content than any of the other streaming services.
I-
Yeah.
Tubi has furry freak brothers on there. Some underground.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what else Tubi has? Because we're influenced by some of these things from from TV. Obviously, we're influenced by Electra Woman and Dinah Girl and Linda Carter.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
But Tubi
Yeah.
has Black Scorpion. So
Oh, I remember that. I remember that
oh
show.
yes, that
Yeah.
was a great show. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
yeah, look at Tubi for some interesting stuff from both the 70s and the 90s that you might not find elsewhere. I guess, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if you guys get any bigger, Tubi could put your Heroineburgh stuff on the movie circuit.
Well, here's something interesting. Marvin's already working with these guys, and we plan to as well. There's a nascent, streaming service in Toronto called Heroes Live TV, and Marvin already has. Marvin, you have a couple of your digital books on there, right?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, cool.
And
And,
actually, the Edge is in their banner. So I'll drop that into the chat too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be fun.
yeah.
Let me mod you, Marvin. Which one are you're not even in the chat, are you?
Yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's in. He just dropped the link. Yeah.
Which
So the Heroes Live guys, it's these two guys, Dan and your own, right? Is their name?
Adam.
Oh, Adam and Your Own. That's right. They're in Toronto, and they're putting together a bunch of content that's comic book based and superhero based and stuff like that. Maybe some sci-fi too. And it's called Heroes Live. So they're working on it, and at some point we're going to put our episodes on there. But for now, our episodes are direct pay downloads from our own site. So
cool.
Yeah.
You're
Right,
now
so
Martin.
in my Kickstarter, I have 4 free yearly subscriptions to that channel. So it's going to be part of the Kickstarter. It's going to be one of the tiers.
Ah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and Blood Monster. No, there's an app called Tubi where you watch free movies. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we were talking
I
about.
saw. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
That is correct. Here's the link right there. Heroes Live, vhx.tv. Check it out, guys. This will be a fun watch. Awesome. Wow.
Would you like me to share the?
Yeah, do share that.
Would you like me to?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to share the trailer of our newest episode so people get an idea of what it looks like live here. Let me hit the share button.
Make sure the audio's on. AVS been slacking on the audio lately on his live streams. Oh, sure, I don't have a sound. Like, you should know more than this than I do, EVS. Come on.
Okay, well, I'm clicking something called share screen, so let's see what that does.
Yeah. Okay.
I've
learned to do that too.
Okay, hold on a second. Share audio. Hopefully it's happening. Entire screen. Oh, yeah, I have to click the audio. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And are you seeing this yet?
I haven't seen it. No, I'm not seeing it yet.
Share window, entire screen. Oh, I see. Okay, I have to click on it. There we go.
Yeah, click on it. Yeah.
I'm going to share it. And here we go. Do you see my screen now?
I do. Let's see.
This is the episode, the video store, the episode and premiere thing. Do you see this now? Okay, here we go. Here's here's the trailer.
Oh.
She's living in Heroineburgh. Never mind what you heard. Superheroine is the word. She's living fantastic dreams. She's shooting out laser beams, taking over computer screens. She puts her costume on, and she's feeling super strong. When deadly threats attack, she'll be ready to strike back. She's living in Heroineburgh.
Cool.
Okay.
All
yes.
Right. And I can also share briefly what the comic books look like here. This is comic. Are you still seeing it? Okay.
I'm still seeing it.
This is issue number 1, and on the right you can see the interiors by Benjamin Deuce Barnett and the back cover by Marcel Walker. I would like to point out that the front cover is by Jason Wright, and I'll tell you about him in a minute. There's issue number 1, which can be ordered directly from our website as well as from 190 stores. And here's issue number 2. You seeing that? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Again, Jason Wright cover, interiors by Ben Barnett, back cover by Marcel, interiors by Wayne Brown. Pow, bam, smash.
That's cool.
Yes, not Poderosa. Poderosa in Spanish.
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa. There's no end there.
Bonanza.
Yes. Yes. I don't know why no one's ever used this, but Poderosa is Spanish for Power Girl. It's Power Girl. Yeah, Power Woman, right?
Almost the same colors in a way. That's kind of wild, isn't it?
It's our version of Power Girl, but she is Puerto Rican, and her name is Rosa Perez, and of course, who is that a tribute to? A Puerto Rican superhero character, colorful, 80s looking, a tribute to George Perez. And then here's the list of comic shops we currently have. And you can see there it is.
That's
so.
Great.
I will cease to share.
Oh man, what a treat!
Stop screen.
What
there we go.
Okay.
So yeah, and I just wanted to mention Jason Wright briefly, the guy who does our stickers, our character stickers, and our covers. He has nearly 700 credits in the industry, and he's worked for
Wow.
DC as a colorist for about 20 years.
Wow.
And currently, he is the colorist for Shane Davis's Inglorious Rex.
Oh yeah.
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 The
go.
cover
So
looked
that's what
awesome.
And
Yes.
he still works for DC by keeping his social media profile very low. He
Yeah.
still works for DC, and he is about to. He just did Metal Man. You know, Shane Davis drew Metal Man last year, right?
good
So
Yeah, it does. Hey,
yeah,
good stuff, Comic Skater.
hey, good stuff. Jason colored Metal Man last year, and this year Jason will be doing the Young Justice miniseries. So
Okay.
yeah,
That'd be fun. Good for him,
Yep.
man.
Yeah, that's good that he still has his foot in the door over there.
Yeah.
Well, the reason
Why
why
not?
he's able to do that is, you know how George Costanza says, "Don't let the worlds collide" on Seinfeld, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, Jason by keeping his social media profile very low and just having his own website and stuff, he's able to kind of separate these worlds, and I'm really glad that he is, because he's getting a lot of good work that way. And yeah, I mean, because he colored Jason before EVS, for example, did the stuff he's doing now. Jason colored Ethan's work on Green Lantern for a couple years, so
Oh
he's
yeah.
he's well familiar with all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Customer have a realistic retro vibe going on. Oh, certainly. Now, who did the music to your videos? Is that one of the actresses?
Yeah, I think when he said customer, I think he meant the costumes have a right.
Costumer.
The
Yeah,
costumes.
costumer. I will say.
Yes.
Yeah,
The costumes
costumer.
are realistic and retro. That's right. Very campy, kind of Batman 66, Power
I like
Rangers.
it.
Right. What was your question? Who did our
Yeah, who did your music?
Oh, that is a very interesting story. So She's Living in Heroineburgh, which is the song, was sung by one of our actresses and produced
Nice.
by a good friend of mine. But it's a song that I wrote in high school in 1985.
Really?
Wow.
At that time, I had a girl in front of me, and Mike, you remember how in the 80s people had colorful hair, asymmetrical hair, and spiky
Oh
hair
yeah.
and stuff? Right. Okay. So there was a girl in front of me in my class who had that kind of hair, and I wrote a song about her for our teenage synth pop band. I called it "She's Living a Plastic Life," and so I took that song 30 years later and changed the lyrics to "She's Living in Heroineburgh." And basically, I wanted like an 80s vibe. So I took my synth pop song from the 80s and literally just repurposed it. And yeah, so, I used to listen to, stuff like Depeche Mode, Front 242,
Oh
things like
yeah.
that. And so it has that kind of like electro industrial synth pop feel to it. Yeah, there you go.
That's
Definitely.
cool.
Yeah.
Marvin loves
Yeah.
Tubi.
To
I
be
thought
or not to
Apex
be.
was going to be breaking out, start breakdancing or something.
I
wasn't
was gonna breakdance that tune, man. That was awesome.
It's Poderosa. It's not Ponderosa.
Ponderosa.
Poderosa, powerful woman. Literally, it means power woman. Yes.
She's not little Joe. Stop it.
She's not little
Or-
Joe. She
Hoss.
does-
Haas or
Yeah.
Adam or
Ponderosa was a
Green.
really great restaurant, and I miss it.
It
Oh
was.
God,
The salad bars were good. Yeah.
Oh, I love
But
the
yeah,
steak.
Well,
yeah.
we have
Poderosa's character.
Bonanza here.
Poderosa's power is not to create a great salad bar. No. To make your steak well done. No. Yeah.
Well,
She.
tell them about her weakness.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, that's fun. It's just something fun because we have a lot of unique stuff in this series. First of all, in the series, we have a lot of unique characters who have an ethnicity that's never been done in comics before. For example, we have a Christian Arab superhero. We have a Basque superhero. I just thought I'd do it for fun because I'm really into languages and cultures. But so as far as Poderosa, as I said before, she's a tribute to George Perez. She's Puerto Rican. But her weakness is that I was unsure, like, how do you make a power woman type a power girl type character if she doesn't have a kryptonite? Then how do you get a weakness, right?
Right.
And I read somewhere randomly that the bottoms of the soles of your feet have 20,000 nerve endings
Oh, God.
and are basically the
yeah.
most sensitive part of your body. So basically, during episode 19, we had one of the villains who was fighting her discover that the bottoms of the soles of her feet are her weakness. And so basically, she just burns the hell out of the bottom of her feet and knocks her out. So, yeah. So, and that's never been done, right? I mean, it's a physical weakness people have, 20,000 nerve endings. And I just exploited it to make a weakness for the
It
superhero.
goes way back in storytelling,
Yeah.
though, like
Oh, yeah.
Achilles' heel.
Yeah.
It is
Oh, yeah.
literally an Achilles sole instead of heel. Yes.
You know, you can also create a new villain called the Tickler. She'll be tickling her feet. She'll
Oh,
laugh.
no, don't do
You know,
that.
be submissive.
Yeah.
Giant
I mean,
feather.
so
Giant feather on her foot.
yeah, I mean, so there are sort of remember when people are in spandex and boots and costumes, there's a certain light fetish element to it all, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, we don't want to go too far in that direction. So yeah, we just got to be careful to keep it what I call PG-13 at all times, right?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, you might tie Black Widow up in a chair, but I don't think you'd tickle her with a feather. Yeah.
No, that'll never happen.
Well,
We have Devil Flower has a book out on Indiegogo, so if you guys want to check it out, I bought it today.
Oh,
So I'm your
congratulations.
25th
thank you,
backer.
Apex. I was wondering who our new backer was. So.
Yeah,
How is that doing?
it's made
Oh, well,
$582 so far. I think.
Yeah,
So
we're
if you
fully
guys want
funded.
to check it out, yeah,
Fully
It's been
funded. We have 35 days left on the campaign, so over a month. So we're doing well.
Cool. If I was modding the chat, I'd post a link.
right.
I
Oh,
appreciate it.
once you get on the stream, then I'll go ahead and mod you, Heroineburgh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you bet. You can promote
Say
all
hi,
you
be
want.
sociable, and he will wrench you.
I'll rinse you.
Yeah, I'm on a bunch of streams.
Everybody
Yeah.
Everybody that checks out my YouTube show has a wrench, and if I don't give them a wrench, the other people in the chat will go, "Well, he doesn't have a wrench."
It says, why can't I have a wrench? I don't have
So
a
everybody
wrench.
has a wrench who comes in my
If
channel.
everybody has a wrench, Marvin, who has a wrench? If everybody has a wrench,
Nobody.
nobody. Yeah, that's right.
Nobody.
If everything's a priority, nothing's a priority.
Yes.
No kidding. Okay. There you are. Which one are you? No.
If they abuse it, I take it back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where's
Uh.
Go ahead and write something in the chat there, Heroineburgh. I'll go ahead and mod you.
Write something in the chat, in the private
Yeah.
chat,
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
private chat. In the real YouTube chat.
in the comments.
The comments. Yeah, the comments. Yeah.
I see. Okay. I don't know if I can do that.
All you can do, what you do is you open another screen and get onto YouTube and silence your YouTube. Make sure it's silent.
Oh,
And then-
yeah.
Yeah. Then you can write something in the chat there.
All right. I'll do that in a minute.
Yeah, sure. That way you can promote and all that good stuff. All right.
Marvin, you say something, Marvin.
Yes. So what's your
So,
other
I mean-
title?
It's still the edge. I mean, I'm full on board with this brand, and it brings me a lot of joy. So I don't want to step away from it too soon. Like we have some stuff that Mark and I have been talking about, but
yeah.
I mean everything that we talk about ends up looping back into the edge. So we just found a way. So we have our one character, Mystic, and he carries swords.
Oh,
And
wow.
now we're going into the background of these swords, and we found a way to make it more like a fantasy story, because we're going back to, and I don't want to spoil it, but the swords are very famous. I'll just say that.
Okay.
So we have actually a story where there's been wielders of these swords throughout history, and what ends up happening is they're kind of, we made it like it's like the land of the Panther God in Black Panther. You know, all the Black Panthers go to a realm where then they can speak to the current Black Panther and give them advice and things like that. So we have a situation that comes up in the book like that, where they're giving him advice and he's not really listening, paying attention. So they start to influence him from that realm.
Oh, wow.
So you see the character starts to change as we go along. So he has like when we originally see him, he's wearing like armor, like a knight. And then he becomes more of a samurai type character. And as the story goes along, every time you see him, he's got something. He's wearing something different because one of the people from the past is starting to influence him.
Oh, cool, man. Wow. This seems real deep.
Right. So then our other character, Interim, remember I told you she can open these portals that affect time. So not only can she do that, she can like use the portals for transportation, so they can step through the portals to any places that she's seen and just appear there. But she's been opening these portals since she was 7, and they're not all closed. So it starts to affect the normal flow of time. So where she's from in Brazil, the area is 12 hours ahead of time of everywhere else in that area. So you're walking towards the village, and it's day, it's noon, and then it's midnight.
Oh, wow. That's something. Yeah, I have all kinds of fun with that title.
Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
great.
it's by saying that there's these powers have consequences, and it's not. I don't consider it to be like muscle memory, like a muscle memory for like someone who does like plays sports. You know when to swing the bat. You know when to get your hands up to catch the ball. You know when to kick. You know when what you can do when you throw. They can't control these powers. And one of our characters, Randa, her powers turn off continuously. So there's a scene in the book where she's on the beach and she's hovering, and the things around her start floating up towards her. She gets distracted, and her powers turn off. She falls into the ocean and almost drowns.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So each one of these characters, even though that they've got these amazing powers, they don't know how to use them. And even with the Mystic character, like he can shoot energy through the swords, but we don't know, is it the swords or is it him, where this is coming from?
Right.
So then we have to explore that too.
Wild, man. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, I was going to ask
you.
And
then our one shot that we're doing is called Rush, where Blaine, our character Blaine, is from Pittsburgh, so he's coming back to Pittsburgh. And this is where we get to do a crossover with some characters from Heroineburgh.
Woo!
Oh, yes. Oh, there you go, a little crossover. I like that.
Here's something very interesting. When Marvin and I met, or shortly after, we found that both of us had characters named Mark Drake, right? Yours was Marcus Drake, and mine was Mark Drake, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Is that was correct, right?
Yes,
so
right.
That was just by chance, and so they're gonna meet in a crossover along with a couple other things, I guess.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shoot, what issue number are we?
This is the one shot. It's called Rush.
Oh, Rush. Okay.
Yeah. So Marvin, I mean, since it's a drug-induced, edge, I guess that's the name of the drug, correct?
Yes.
I was like, time duration. You said it either drives you insane or death or both, but not necessarily every time, right?
Well, we're gonna find out, because I mean, like you said, time duration. There isn't any, so it's something that's like it's gestating. We'll say like similar to the alien and the xenomorph and aliens, where
you just have to take the drug once.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
But we haven't said how it's distributed yet.
Oh.
We don't know how these people got the drug. And actually, the funny thing about it is that our original tagline for the book was the infection spreads. So we treat it like an infection. But since and I call it the coof. I don't know if anybody else does that. The coof.
Yeah.
we stopped using it, but now that things are opening back up and things are somewhat normal again, I'm bringing it back. So the tagline infection spread. So they're not just spreading the infection of the drug itself, but the knowledge of it. And we actually have a scene in issue 9 where the villain, he's called Chaos, has like this. There's this big battle going on, and he gets captured, and he points and says that I've been recording this the whole time and filming it live. So then we have a scene where we have all these other characters from other indie books looking on their phones, looking at TV, seeing all the stuff going on as this stuff is exploding and the world's changing.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Man, you guys have active imaginations. That just blows my mind.
I mean, like I said, I started working on this book back in 93.
Oh, geez. Wow.
Yeah.
That's when I started my first Executor book. The story, just getting the stories and the art.
Are you self-taught, Marvin? Did you go to college for that?
Yes. Well, I took some creative writing classes, but I think that what gave me the boost a lot was business classes. I think that was the thing that helped me the most with being able to juggle being a creator, a business, and then doing the business part of it, like switching the hats off continuously. And I've been finding with talking with other creators that they can't do both. They don't have the ability, and
it's tough.
Yeah. And it's one of the things that we try to help with. Like, we have a group on Facebook called the Indie Network where we put up articles on things like that. Like I spent most of the summer going to doing these online meetings for how to get your stuff into in the stores for any kind of things. So I talk with people from Dollar General, from Target, from Walmart, all these stores and everything to figure out how do you approach these kind of things and how do you breach that wall, because it doesn't seem like it's very easy to do, and people are challenged with those things. So I'm like, okay, here's all the information, you can run with it and do with it. I did the legwork, and I went there and sat down and listened to what these guys had to say, and this is what they told me. So you guys go out there and see what you can do with it.
Sweet. That's good advice, guys.
Yeah. So, because when I started doing these comics, I didn't know anything. It was all trial and error. No one wanted to share any information. You didn't have we had America Online. When I started, we were America Online forums, and no one was sharing anything. It was pretty much a dead thing for anyone to get information on how, do you do colors before you do letters? Where do you go to print? What are the sizes for the book? We didn't know anything, and we were it was catch as you may and fall on our faces. And now that I have that information, I'm going to share it with everyone who wants to know about it. Information is free. I'm not going to put it behind a gate and put a lock on it and say you got to pay me to get to this information.
Right.
So speaking of information, what's kind of similar, and I found very interesting, and I would encourage all comic book or many comic book people to do that if you have a little extra money, because remember, I started out after being a comic fan, making a low budget TV show first, is the similarity between writing a screenplay and writing a comic book. They're not the same, but they are kind of similar, right? Mm-hmm. And you can use your skills to apply to one, to apply to the other. And I would encourage anybody who's making a comic, make short films about your character. If you can find an actor or actress to play them, why not make short films, live action, do it. You don't have to make whole episodes like we do, but it's a big appeal. I really like when, for example, comic books like Fire Bitch or Arachna they use Karen Nicole or a different cosplayer to play their characters, and you get a cosplay cover, right? But expand on that, and if these people that do the cosplay cover has some acting chops, do an actual short film on it. Certainly, you can offer it as a perk in a campaign, but certainly, it really just costs a few $100. Get a DSLR camera and get Adobe and do some stuff. I think it's really fun to approach this kind of thing in multiple media, right? And don't just rely. I mean, I love The Boys. I love, Marvel movies, whatever, but you don't have to rely on multi-million-dollar corporations to make all of your content. Make it yourself, to the best of your abilities, DIY record, put out a DIY record album, DIY movies, DIY comics, the whole nine.
Oh yeah, I've seen some fan films. They're a lot better than the actual movie studios put it together nowadays. I mean, they put a lot of passion and their focus
Right.
behind it, and
Right.
that's how they actually look really good. Yeah,
Right. I
the
mean,
right.
but that it's for us. That's what it's about. Is the passion of the thing. We're not making this because we got to hit deadlines or
Right.
because we want to cash $1 billion check. I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be nice, but I mean, it's not what we're here for. We're
Right.
not trying to break the bank, or we're just sharing what we love.
There you go. And that's right. That's what we do every week. We share the love on people, different projects we like to promote, and we like people to promote the products as well. So I want to thank you guys for being on the live stream tonight
Yeah.
or this
Thank
morning.
you.
And we go ahead and share the links once again. And Heroineburgh, go ahead and do your promotion for your YouTube channel, if you would, to the
Of
audience.
course. Oh, well, I mean, for everything, right? I mean, the YouTube channel is a channel that has a few hundred clips from our TV series, character intros, outtakes. It also has 7 episodes of a series we call Comicsburg, which is where we got the name originally for the collective there. The Comicsburg videos are longer and they involve interviewing various creators in town and comic shops. But yeah, so Heroineburgh is called that across all platforms. We have a Facebook, YouTube channel. We have DeviantArt. We have Twitter, Instagram, and I also on the down low have a Getter and Parlor accounts as well.
Oh,
Um,
great.
but and all of those things. So if you watch the YouTube channel, you'll get familiar with a bunch of the characters. Then you can go to our website, which is heroineburgh.com. You can order the download videos, you can order the comic book, or you can go to the list of comic shops and go to one of those comic shops and buy the book there, or come to visit us at one of the many conventions in our region. And Comicsburg will be there. Me, Marvin, and maybe a few other creators from Pittsburgh as well.
Awesome. And Marvin, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do. I just dropped my link to my link tree. That's the easiest way instead of trying to
Okay.
go through all because I don't
Yeah.
have the Edge comic across the board. Someone's been sitting on it on Twitter, and I want them
Oh,
to just go away so I can steal it.
all right.
But yeah, like Linktree, I'm on YouTube, we're on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter.
Sweet.
I do have a Substack. That's
Okay.
what I use for my newsletter. I don't I was frequently posting there, but everything that I'm doing right now is leading up to the Kickstarter. So in the Kickstarter, we're
Oh,
going to have issues 1 through 4. We're going to have issue 1 as a holofoil cover. We're going to
mhm.
have bags of coffee. We're working with Comics on Coffee. There's going to be the Edge blend.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then also going to have stickers, trading cards, and other things as I come up with them out of my mind and see what what will work in a crowdfunding situation.
Sounds like a winner. And Rex, go ahead and promote your YouTube channel and your wonderful book.
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, on Indiegogo, I have the Devil Flyer Ash Can black and white edition up there now. Full book to be coming out here pretty soon up on Indiegogo. We'll get through this first. We have an active campaign going, and check out some of the alternative books. We'll have some ads in there. Place 7 ads in 5 books in the winter campaign. So, and I think that's still up too. So, give them some love and support. You might get some early appearances of some of my characters in those books. But yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's under Devil Flyer, and check that out as well. I know Bloody Monster subscribed. I saw that, so
Nice.
that's great. And yeah, Apex, I want to see that Sea Demon drawing you did. Yeah,
Yeah,
show.
well, I'll have to flesh it out. I got an
Oh,
ink
Mhm.
and
okay.
all that
Yeah,
stuff. It's going to take some work.
flesh it out. Yeah, it looked
And,
good.
oh, thank you. Yeah, a bit of a Neil Adams streak in me, so I decided to do that. Of course, you know me, Apex Comics. I'm on here every week. I have going to put together a Fembat on Indiegogo next month. Figuring out the mailing list, how to actually do a sign up page. It's man, it's like it's a gradual pace to do that, man. I've never done it before, but I'm here every week, guys. So like and subscribe to my guests here, and to everyone who happened to be in the chat. I want to thank for Bloody Monster being here tonight. Thank you, and some others. Who else?
Marvin Wynn.
Marvin
Yeah.
Wynn. Thank you. Yes, Marvin.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Mr.
coming
Good
on.
Stuff came in after his
Some
stream.
good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. Comics game.
And Lorenzo Sleestack.
Lorenzo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me find him. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Lorenzo. There you go.
And
So
Greg,
thanks,
Greg
guys.
Levitt came
Greg
in.
Levitt. Yeah, just for like a
Sci-Fi Nation too.
He was
Was
here.
in here earlier.
Let me go find him. These guys are like spread out.
Spread out. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yep. Yeah, he's here. You're here. All right, guys. So thanks for watching, and if you go ahead and watch on replay, share this video, and
We'll do
all
that.
that good stuff. Definitely. So next
Great
week.
to meet you guys.
Great to meet you guys. Definitely.
Thank you.
Meet you guys too.
So hopefully I'd love to go to Pittsburgh someday and see you guys. That'd be fun. One of the convention circuits. Yes. So take care, everyone.
Seems like they get around all over the place.
They do,
when
man.
it comes to the conventions.
Man, I've learned quite a bit tonight. Yeah, make some short movies of your comics and put out your comic. What a great advice. Thank you, Heroineburgh and Marvin. So everyone have a beautiful evening, beautiful morning. Make sure your clocks are set forward. We spring forward this time.
Oh, we do.
Lucy, yeah. Oh, you didn't know. Now you know. I'm glad to put this public message out there. There you go. So yeah, spring forward before you go to bed. All right, guys. Have a great evening, great morning, wherever you are. And we'll see you next time. Ciao for now.
Good night.
Bye. Goodbye from Pittsburgh.